Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Bloomington Rotary Club's weekly celebration of service. I'm Tracy Ivanovich, and what do you, oh, can you turn us up, please? Oh, yes, there you go. Is that good? Better? Okay, a little bit more. Thank you, thank you. All right. Welcome once again to our weekly celebration of service here at Bloomington's Rotary Club. I'm thrilled and honored to serve as your president. My name is Tracy Ivanovich. And in recognition of Labor Day, I'd like to ask everyone to stand and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you, everyone. And our thought for the day is one cannot and must not try to erase the past merely because it does not fit the present. I thought that was very appropriate. That's from Golda Meir. I thought that was very appropriate given all the conversations we're having around the country with books, statues, etc. So something to keep in thought. And with that, I think Suze Gamblieri, we have you online. Are you doing the reflection today?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Look at technology. You got to love it. Take it away, Sue.
Thank you so much. Continuing the theme of Labor Day and recognizing the importance of that day in our story as citizens, I'm borrowing today from a gentleman named Terry Ward, who is a writer and a journalist for a little paper called the Kashmir Valley Record in Wanata, Washington. And this is his reflection on Labor Day. Today, as we observe Labor Day, we pause to reflect on the state of work in America and the evolving relationship between employers and employees. This holiday, born from the labor movement of the late 19th century, continues to resonate in our rapidly changing economic landscape. In recent years, significant shifts have occurred in the workplace. The rise of remote work has fundamentally altered how many Americans view their jobs. It's offered newfound flexibility for some, while presenting challenges for others, particularly those in service industries who are unable to work from home. We've witnessed a surge in union activity across various sectors, from tech giants to coffee chains. This resurgence of organized labor speaks to a growing desire among workers for better conditions, fairer compensation, and a stronger voice in their workplace. At the same time, technological advancements, particularly in artificial intelligence, are reshaping entire industries. While these innovations promise increased productivity, they also raise valid concerns about job displacement and the need for workforce retraining. The gig economy continues to expand, offering opportunities for flexible work and sparking debates about worker classification and benefits. The ongoing discourse surrounding these issues underscores the need for policies that balance innovation with worker protection. On this Labor Day, it's crucial to recognize the contributions of all workers, from healthcare professionals and teachers to delivery drivers and retail employees, who keep our society functioning. Their efforts, often undertaken in challenging circumstances, deserve our gratitude and our respect. One of the most effective ways we can support workers in our communities is by shopping locally. Small businesses are the backbone of our economy, providing jobs and contributing to the unique character of our city. By choosing to spend our dollars at local establishments, we directly invest in the livelihoods of our fellow community members and help create a more resilient local economy. Looking ahead, the changing nature of work presents both opportunities and challenges. How we navigate these shifts will significantly impact our economy and our society. It calls for thoughtful dialogue between policymakers, business leaders, and workers to ensure that the future of work is one that benefits all Americans. This Labor Day, let us recommit to the principles that this holiday represents: dignity in work, fair compensation, and the right to safe working conditions. As we enjoy this day off, as we enjoyed a day off, we should also reflect on how we can contribute to creating a more equitable and prosperous work environment for all, whether it's through supporting local business, advocating for fair labor practices, or simply showing appreciation for the workers we interact with daily. Each of us has a role to play in honoring the spirit of Labor Day. As you celebrate today, take a moment to consider the labor that makes your celebration possible. From the farmers who grew your food, to the retail workers who sold it, from the energy workers keeping your lights on, to the sanitation workers who will clean up tomorrow. Their work and the work of countless others forms the foundation of our society and deserves our deepest respect. Thank you.
That was fantastic and highly appropriate. So thank you, Sue. Winston Schindel, could you come and introduce our guest, please?
Well, thank you, President Tracy. It's my honor to introduce our guests today, and they're very special guests. You might notice that there are a few young people amongst us, and we do have 5 guests from the Rotaract Club. And as I introduce you, I'd ask you to stand, remain standing until all 5 have been introduced, and then we'll greet you as a group. First, Celine Yang. Thank you. June Wa. Thank you. Chloe Chang. Thank you. Yaya Cater and Yaya Amajad. Let's join in welcoming these young folks. Thank you. Whitney, do we have any guests online?
We do have a couple of, we have 17 people joining us online, so cheers to that. Starting with Sue, who gave the introductions speech. That's pretty much it on my side.
Okay, thank you very much.
Why, thank you, past President Winston Schindel, AKA Dad. All right. For birthdays, we have quite a few birthdays this week. Aaron Davis and Dee Dee LaRosa, John Diltz, all on the 7th. Lori Garrity yesterday. Happy birthday. Jim Shea on the 6th and Marilyn Wood on the 5th. For anniversaries, Emily Hannon for 2 years and Charlie Osborne for 32 years. So there we go. Now for announcements. We need some sign up genius confidence on the mic and camera for next round, please. So I'd like to encourage people to not be intimidated by technology and try something new. Don't be afraid to sign up for the mic and camera operations next time around. Lexi, can you testify? And Lori, is it easy? See, there you go. All right. Now, for committee members, we were short 44 members signing up for committees, and I'm proud to say we're down to 16. So there's still a few of us to sign up, but we're getting there. So don't be shy. You'll be getting calls. And then lastly, unfortunately, Mike Baker's not here, so someone will have to share this with him. I took a look on how to announce the need to buy Toast tickets. And so I took a page out of Alon Barker's book and asked ChatGPT. And I will tell you, I think Mike Baker was in my computer putting it out to me. So when you hear this, you'll know why. It said, looking to boost those ticket sales, huh? Well, you're in luck because I've got some half-baked ideas that just might work. First, let's butter up the audience with a catchy slogan like get toasted with the best seats. Then we could sprinkle in a deal that's too hot to handle. Like buy one, get your bread buttered for free offer. And why not throw in a crumb of urgency? A countdown timer for the ultimate bread experience could really heat things up. Remember, it's all about the yeast you can do because every little bit helps the dough rise. So let's toast to Rotary success and watch those sales rise to the occasion. Remember, this is our biggest fundraiser of the season, and we need everyone to rise to the occasion. You have pamphlets on your tables. Let's make sure we get those in. And rise to the occasion. And with that, we have our favorite part of the club, new members. And for that, I'd ask Lori and our new members to come up.
We are excited to induct 2 new members today. And Liz is going to start us off by introducing us to Diana Hoffman.
Good afternoon. Diana Hoffman retired from NCCSC Adult Education in 2017, where she was the graphic designer and marketing representative. She started teaching basic skills classes, introductory and advanced computer classes, and graphic design at IB Tech Community College in 1991, and taught there full-time and part-time for 25 years. In 2000, Diana started teaching part-time advanced graphic design at IU Continuing Studies and taught there in 2007. Diana was awarded the 2005 Teaching Excellence Award from the Indiana University School of Continuing Studies for all 8 IU campuses. Both of her degrees are from IU Bloomington. Her undergraduate degree is in studio art and art education. Her graduate degree is in alternative secondary education with a specialization in African art. This is Diana's 9th year on the board at Beacon Incorporated, and she is also on the personnel and nominating committees. She delivers Meals on Wheels once a month, is a reader for Constellation Stage and Screen, and volunteers at My Sister's Closet when needed. After retiring, Diana started an arts and crafts business and participates in the Smithville Farmers Market and local craft fairs. She and her husband, Charlie, have a country home in Monroe County and have 2 adult children. Andrew, a master electrician who lives in Monrovia, Indiana, and Sarah, an IU SPIA graduate who recently moved to Vermont. I'm happy to know Diana and recommend her for membership.
And I'm going to introduce our second inductee. Leanne Ratcliffe recently became the community liaison for Bloomington Meadows Hospital, where she partners with Monroe County and the southern portion of the state to improve our community's access to mental health care. Leanne was born and raised in Bloomington and attended IU for her undergraduate degree. Upon graduation, Leanne moved to Indianapolis to work as an investigator of child abuse and neglect at the Marion County Department of Child Services office, where she specialized in medically fragile fatality. After 5 years, she transferred to the Morgan County Department of Child Services and spent 5 years there completing investigations for abuse and neglect. During her time at DCS, she served on quality improvement boards and advisory boards linked directly to government legislation and changes to laws and policies in the state of Indiana. She next shifted into mental health, behavioral health as a behavioral health clinician with MCCSC and became a certified family trauma professional that worked with children K through 6 with a focus on K through 2. She left MCCSC after 5 years to join Bloomington Meadows Hospital. Leanne is married to Daniel Arnold, and they have 1 child, Brynley, who's 7 years old. Leanne enjoys spending time with her family, gardening, competitive gymnastics, completing puzzles, traveling, and Disney. And I'm excited to sponsor Leanne's entry into Rotary.
I'm super honored to be able to do this today. This is actually the first time I'm getting to induct new members. So as district governor, this is actually a huge treat for me. Do they need to be over here or? Okay. Okay. So Diana Hoffman and Leanne Ratcliffe, on behalf of the board and the members of the Bloomington Rotary Club, it is with great pleasure to welcome you as the newest members of the club. We look forward to the fellowship that we will share, as well as your participation in the club's projects that make our club, community, country, and the world a better place. Though Rotary is not a political organization, Rotarians are vitally concerned with good citizenship and the election of effective leaders to public office. While Rotary is not a religious organization, it is built on those highest principles that have served as the moral compass for people throughout the ages. Rotary is an organization of business, professional, and community leaders pledged to uphold the highest ethical and moral standards. Rotarians believe that worldwide fellowship and peace can be achieved when people work together and uphold the Rotary motto of service above self. Rotary activities exemplify the partnership, respect, and generosity that one would expect from people who believe they have a responsibility to help others. Diana and Leanne, you have been chosen for membership in the Bloomington Rotary Club because your fellow members believe you to be a leader in our community and because you possess the qualities to champion the message and principles of Rotary. You are representative of your vocation and talent within our club and community. You have now become an ambassador of Bloomington Rotary, carrying the ideals of service to all within your sphere of influence. Our community will know and judge Rotary by your character and service. We will also look to you for inspiration as we strive to become better Rotarians. We will now pin you with the distinguished badge of a Rotarian, your Rotary pen. We ask that you wear your Rotary pen with pride in your many endeavors and as a symbol of our recognition of your contribution towards a better world through your Rotary membership. Fellow Rotarians, please rise if you are able and welcome our newest Rotarians, Diana Hoffman and Leanne Ratcliffe. You up here? Take a picture right here. Yep. Okay. Here we go.
Everybody in their tights. Okay,
There we go.
1, 2. Good looking crew. Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome, everyone. I thought it was special to have DG Mandy actually read our verbiage that Aaron has done such a nice job tailoring and tweaking. And I love hearing it read every time because it reminds me why we're here, what we're about, not just the fellowship and the networking, but also the community service that we do. So thank you, DG Mandy. And I guess it's a demonstration of flexibility and agility. We kind of twist things up a little bit because we didn't introduce you beforehand, but that was because I wanted our Mr. Rotary, Jim Bright, to come up and give the introduction. So thank you for jumping ahead. And here comes the introduction.
Thank you so much, President Tracy. And it is indeed an honor and privilege to introduce to you my good friend, Mandy Lohrum, District Governor of Southern Indiana Rotary. Since joining Rotary in 2015, Mandy has served as president of the Greensburg Rotary Club, assistant governor, Paul Harris Society coordinator, and District House of Friendship Chair. Mandy is a graduate of the Rotary Leadership Institute, also known as RLI, and she has facilitated continuing RLI classes. Mandy has attended 4 Rotary International Conventions, most recently in Singapore earlier this year. Mandy is a major donor and a Paul Harris Society member, which speaks volumes about her commitment to the Rotary Foundation. Following today's meeting, Mandy is off to Huntsville, Alabama for the Rotary Zone Institute, a gathering of Rotary leaders from 13 states. Mandy, are you driving or flying? She's driving, okay. Outside of Rotary, Mandy has served as a 2-term president of the Greensburg, Decatur County Chamber of Commerce, treasurer for the Arts and Cultural Council there since 2015, and board of directors of Girls Inc. Shelbyville since 2022. She holds a Bachelor in Science degree in finance from Ball State University in Muncie, and she is executive director of the Hospital Foundation of Decatur County. Quickly, a personal note, for the past 7 years, I've been blessed to serve as chair of our district's Global Scholarship Program, which has awarded $40,000 a year to graduating college seniors, making it possible for an outstanding student to study and receive a graduate degree from any university outside the world. A year or so ago, our district was running low on global grant funds, and the program, to be quite honest, was on the ropes. that's when Mandy stepped in. Mandy reached out to her fellow district governors from Northern Indiana and Central Indiana and secured the funds that we needed to keep the program alive. And in the process, she changed eligibility from Southern Indiana students to the entire state of Indiana. Now, how's that for a creative problem solver? Fellow Rotarians, please stand and give District Governor Mandy a warm Bloomington Rotary welcome.
Thank you. All right, so something that I've done to kick off before I give my official speech, I have some giveaways and Tracy's going to actually hand them out. So this is just anybody that wants to shout out the answers. I have two kids. Mackenzie is 12 and Mason is 8. They both love sports. Can anybody tell me what each of their favorite sports are? Soccer. Nope. 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 Did someone say baseball? Okay, that's Mason's favorite sport. Yes. Yes, baseball. And we just entered the world of travel baseball, so God help me. What's Mackenzie's favorite sport? Someone say swimming. I heard swimming. Yes. She absolutely loves swimming and it wears me out to watch her because she can go down and back in the pool in 40 seconds. And I'm like, it would take me days to do that. And she does it and absolutely loves it. And I love watching my kids play sports. So then the other things I've got, I have a book collection. I love books. I guess it's appropriate being here at IU. You guys probably have a huge library. I've never been in your library. I spent lots of time in the Ball State Library. It was one of my favorite places to be. Can anybody tell me how many books I have in my book collection? It's my husband's fault. He built me a whole entire wall. That tells you exactly how big it is. And it's less than 5,000. No. A little bit more than that. Close enough. I'm at 3,300 right now. Yes, I love to read. Biographies are my absolute favorite because I like to read where people go through their challenges and through life to get where they are. So biographies are my absolute favorite. I have been to 4 international conventions. Can anybody guess what my very first one was? Lance, I bet you can guess. Atlanta. There you go. Okay, Atlanta. Yes. Atlanta was my very first, and it was absolutely ignited a huge spark in me. All right, so the last couple items we have, I am a major donor to the foundation. Can anybody tell me what that means? How much did I give to be a major donor? $10,000. Yes. Yep. Everybody's so giving in Rotary. And then the last one that Tracy has, they are coins is what they are. Can anybody tell me what a challenge coin is meant to be for? Yes, they do. Yep. Yep. That's exactly what they're for. They're to recognize like good works and deeds. So Miss Tracy, there you go. And I think you already have one, but you can pass it on. Oh, there you go. They are a very cool thing to have. It has this year's theme on it. So it is a nice little thing. Before I kick off everything else, I would like to just recognize, I know we have some past district governors here in the audience. So Lance Eberly, Judy Witt, Vivian Randy Bridges, and Jim Bright. So all of these are amazing leaders that you have, and it's really cool that you have 4 in your club that you can look to for guidance and leadership. So that's a really cool thing that you have going on. So some other things, I am not going to be, I know I'm bursting some people's bubbles. I'm not going to be able to attend the toast this year because I'm going to New Albany. They asked first. I'm sorry. But it is a great thing that you guys do and that New Albany also does. It's actually been duplicated in a couple other states now because it is such a great event and organization for us to be able to fundraise for. And then Teachers Warehouse. What an exciting, I was at a couple other club visits and hearing about their partnership. There's 6 Rotary clubs that participate in that. And that's just an amazing feat. And you guys started it, you know, and I know when I worked for Girls Inc., that's how I ended up on the board. I previously worked there. And when I worked there, we got to go and actually get supplies from Teachers Warehouse for the students that attended after school. And when you walked into that, I never got to go and actually collect supplies, but our staff did. The gratitude, and when they came back, the ability for them to know they had the supplies to do their job and to help the girls after school. That's just an amazing thing that Rotary created. So it's something you guys should all be very proud of. So as we gather here today as Rotarians, and it's kind of funny, your induction speech kind of is going to mirror this a little bit. So it's going to sound like Aaron and I were on the same page. We're united not just in fellowship, but in a shared mission. Our presence here is a powerful display of what humanity can achieve when we join forces in the name of service. I'm humbled to be a part of the global family of Rotary. Each Rotary event, whether it's local or international, has reinforced the shared bond that I have with Rotarians. It's a bond forged in service and strengthened by our common values. Despite our diverse backgrounds, we're all dedicated to making a positive mark on this world. It was not the international scope that brought me into Rotary, but it is definitely one that has kept me here. Our theme this year is the magic of Rotary. The theme captures the essence of what makes Rotary so special. It's the transformative power of our collective efforts and the remarkable impact we have on the world. You'll also hear about being irresistible. Stephanie Urchik, who is our she's our current international president. Wrote this coined term about being irresistible. I'm all about helping clubs look for ways to become simply irresistible. That's what I want Rotary to be, simply irresistible. I'm hoping Rotary and Rotaract clubs will be irresistible to community members who have a heart for service and fellowship. They will use the action plan to assess where they are and figure out where they need to go. Hopefully, the outcome is clubs are more attractive and will retain more people. So let us be simply irresistible. And Stephanie, just like every international president we've ever had, is amazing. We've not picked a wrong one yet, that's for sure. And if any of you know our incoming president, Marco, who is coming up, he is from Brazil. What's really cool about him, and I was telling Tracy about this, he is very much, he's our first international president to come through youth exchange. And he very much is a big proponent of youth exchange. So he spent time here in the US before he became a Rotarian. And so he says he was part of Rotary before it was in his blood from the very beginning. And he is an amazing person. So if you guys have an opportunity to meet him, he will be, I think, at PETS next year. So whoever is your president-elect and president nominee, if they both go, will get to meet him. So I do highly encourage meeting them. Anytime you have the opportunity to meet an international president, you guys had Ian Risley for your 100-year celebration. I actually was able to attend that. And so it's really cool. It's a picture that I will cherish for my whole entire life because it's a picture of Greg Yank and of Judy Bush and I and Jessica Hain and Brian were in the picture. And, you know, 2 of those individuals are no longer with us, but they were huge inspirations to me. So I was able to capture that memory at your guys' 100-year celebration. So it is something that I do hold near and dear to my heart. But across the globe, Rotary clubs confront pressing societal challenges with courage and resolve. We face poverty, hunger, health disparities, and environmental threats, not as distant problems, but as urgent calls to action. Rotarians are not bystanders, we are change makers. From constructing educational facilities to feeding the hungry, Rotary's commitment to service is steadfast. Today, I highlight community service. It's the glue that binds us, elevates our communities, and forges lasting change. Every act of volunteerism, whether aiding a local shelter, cleaning up a park, or championing a community project, is a step towards a brighter future. Community service is more than a series of tasks. It's the creation of bonds. In our effort to better our surroundings, we become part of a collective narrative larger than ourselves. The joy of contributing is positive and invigorating. By actively participating in the betterment of our towns, we craft a legacy of pride and community spirit. At the heart of community service lies the fundamental human desire to aid others. It taps into our innate need to contribute and support. Local charities who often operate with limited resources are transformed by Rotarians' involvement. These pillars of the community nourish, educate, and assist countless lives. But our engagement is the catalyst for the good that begins in our neighborhoods. Community service is not solely about giving, it's also about receiving. Through our interactions, we broaden our perspectives, cultivate empathy, enhance leadership abilities, and affirm the impact we have as Rotarians. Together, we have the power to construct communities that are resilient, nurturing, and inclusive, one act of kindness at a time. Rotary transcends just one of our individual efforts. It recognizes the unique talents and expertise of each member and what it can contribute. Professions from all walks of life, doctors, engineers, educators, and business leaders all find their place within Rotary. By harnessing our specialized skills, Rotarians magnify their impact. The synergy of expertise not only serves our community, but also fosters our own personal and professional growth. Rotary is not merely a service organization, it's a network of empathy and compassion. Joining Rotary connects you with individuals who possess an intense desire to give back. These connections transcend just our local limits. If you can picture a farmer in rural India working with a tech entrepreneur from Indiana to enhance farming techniques. These types of partnerships happen every day in Rotary. In our fast-paced, fragmented world, Rotary offers us a sense of belonging. It's a global family where differences in language, culture, and background completely dissolve. Whether you're attending a Rotary meeting in Tokyo, Nairobi, or right here in Bloomington, Indiana, you're embraced as part of a greater movement, a movement that reaffirms our role as caretakers of our shared humanity. As I embrace this deemed role of district governor, I'm committed to shaping Rotary's impact, inspiring fellow Rotarians, and crafting a legacy that will endure. Leaving a legacy is a powerful way, and it is something that is very important to me. Our legacy campaign, which was launched in April, is to raise at least $1 million in new major gifts to the Rotary Foundation. We will honor donors with a celebratory dinner in May of 2025. Those who pledge at least $10,000 through request pledges or cash during the campaign will receive personal recognition at the event. This campaign is not just about reaching a financial milestone. It's about fostering a culture of generosity and awareness of the Rotary Foundation's programs and benefits. It's about showcasing the good work that Rotarians do in our district, because after all, that is how we get our DDF, our district designated funds. My family is committed to embodying this as we created the Lohrum Family Fund. The fund was established with the Rotary Foundation with a gift of $25,000. This fund will support our district annually with DDF, as I said, district designated funds, and it will create a lasting impact in our district. The reason we created this is because $25,000 will never be touched, but about $1,000 every year will come back to the district in perpetuity. So our district will receive $1,000 to use towards the good work that we need to do every year forever. That is important to me, and it was important to my family as well. Leaving a legacy is like planting a tree under whose shade we may never rest. It's about sowing seeds of kindness, wisdom, and love that flourish long after we're gone. Remember, a legacy is not quantified by wealth or recognition. It's measured by the waves of positive change we set in motion. Your contributions to the Rotary Foundation support initiatives like clean water, education, environmental protection, and poverty alleviation. With as little as 60 cents, we can shield a child from polio, and we are this close. Reflecting on my first Rotary International Convention, which was in Atlanta, it was the centennial celebration of the Rotary Foundation, and it was a defining moment for me. It was there listening to a story about the fight against polio. And there's videos, and you can actually go get this video that I'm talking about right now on my Rotary. But in 1983, we had around 300,000 cases worldwide and then 109 cases in the US. And they always say it's just a plane ride away. Well, we witnessed that last fall. It is only just a plane ride away. I was born in 1983 and could have been one of those cases. And I sat there thinking, oh, crap, that could have been me. Thank God it was not. And I was not one of those people that had polio, but I know that it affects people worldwide even today. But it motivated me to start giving consistently to the foundation and to polio. And I give to both even to this day. Every donation, no matter the size, is a step towards transforming lives and shaping a better world. The legacy campaign transcends monetary objectives. It's about igniting a chain reaction of positive change that will echo through time. So in closing, let us acknowledge the prestige of Rotary. It's not just any service club. It is the oldest and most esteemed of its kind. Our membership is graced by leaders from various sectors. Yet the true prestige of Rotary lies not in titles or honors, but in those of us that serve. It's found in the quiet dedication of a Rotarian planting a tree or mentoring a youth. It's the cumulative effect of millions of hands united in service. The magic of Rotary lies in our ability to unite people from diverse backgrounds and professions, all sharing a common goal of service above self. Together, we create a synergy that turns our individual contributions into a powerful force of good. Our projects, whether local or international, are not just acts of charity, but investments in the future. We build schools, provide clean water, fight diseases, and promote peace. Each act of service is a testament to the magic that happens when caring individuals come together to make a difference. Stand in awe of the unwavering support and boundless inspiration that I've received across this district. From the moment I joined Rotary, the Greensburg Rotary Club, which is my home club, embraced me with open arms. It ignited a flame of passion and service within me. I'm eternally grateful for a few Rotarians who were persistent about me joining this amazing organization and didn't take my first no. To the leadership in the district, their faith that has been a part of who I am, and they for selecting me as district governor. Their trust has been a guiding star. I can't leave out my husband and my kids. Their sacrifice has allowed me to give back to Rotary and to this district. From the depths of my heart, I thank each and every one of you. Thank you for your unwavering support and joining me on this journey of service and leadership. Let us serve with passion, connect with purpose, and embrace the legacy of Rotary. For in service, we find our truest selves, and in Rotary, we find our home. Together, we are Rotary, and together, we will make a difference. So, you can clap. At this point, I have opened it up. I think we still have a little bit of time. We're good. Okay. I've opened it up. You guys can ask any question you would like to ask. I will answer anything. It can be work related. It can be personal. It can be about Rotary. Anything you want to ask me. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, they wouldn't be able to hear you. I didn't think about that. See, someone thinking about the technology here.
Thank you so much, District Governor Mandy. I oftentimes get asked, what is my favorite part of being a Rotarian? How do you answer that question?
So my favorite part about being a Rotarian, it's kind of twofold. It's meeting Rotarians across the world and seeing that really at the end of the day, we're all doing the same thing, no matter how different we are. So that's one of my favorite parts. But the other part too, right now, is as district governor, and every DG will probably say this that's been in my shoes, is meeting the clubs. That has been just such a great uplifting thing for me. As I go around, it doesn't matter whether it's a club of 200 or it's a club of 9. Every single one of those clubs, their community would not be who they are without Rotary. And you guys probably witnessed that as you visited. And, you know, we've got clubs that are struggling, and we hope to help them and help bring them out of the time that they're in. But meeting people that are totally different than me, but yet still have a heart for service. That's what Rotary is about.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And so since we just had you help us induct 2 new members, I think it would be useful, and we have quite a few relatively new members also. I think it would be helpful to talk about the structure of Rotary a little bit. Can you tell us how many are in our district, you know, and kind of work your way up and talk about that a little?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have 35 clubs in our district. And that includes satellite clubs and you know, the 2 Rotaract clubs. And then we have, oh my goodness, then it goes to zone, and we've got 31 in zone. Is that right? 31 districts in our zone? Yeah. Okay. So there's 2 zones. There's zone 30 and zone 31. We're part of zone 30. And then from zone, it kind of reports up to Rotary International. And Rotary International is our parent organization. They don't tell us how to run each of our individual organizations, but they're there to help guide us. That kind of give you the basic structure. Now, here's another plug for you. In October, there's new member orientation that Linda Simmons does on Zoom. So you can actually go out onto DACTB and register for that now. But that's out there and it is a great hour-long. She deep dives for an hour into everything Rotary, not your individual club structure, but Rotary as a whole.
It's no surprise, Liz and I are kind of on the same page. Because I'm also actually a newish member within a year, and I'm inducting new members. And I actually have no idea what your job is as district governor.
Okay.
Can you share?
Absolutely. So my job as district governor is to basically govern the district. So I visit all 35 clubs. I make sure that nothing, they're not doing anything they shouldn't be. I'm also making sure they pay their dues, making sure that financially we do everything we're supposed to as a district, because we have district funds that come in because you pay dues to district and to RI. But we also have to make sure our bylaws are all correct. We have lots of committees across the district, and I help to make sure that I may not attend every single one of their committee meetings, but I make sure that they all happen. It's not any different really than your president. So she's making sure your club runs. I make sure the district runs. Yeah, absolutely. I think Judy had a question over here.
Talk a little bit about the various sizes and what the overall membership size is of the district, if you would.
Yeah, so our largest club is Evansville, and they sit, I think, right at below 200 right now. Their goal is to get above 200 by the end of the year. I think you guys are probably the next largest in size, especially when you count your corporate members who have multiple people in the system. But our smallest club has 6. So that is actually a club that we're very concerned with, because they're kind of at the point where they've either got to figure out how to bring some new people in, or they're just going to call it quits. And we hate to see that ever happen. And then as a district, our goal is to get to 1,650 in membership. And I think we're at 1,520 right now. So, and that's Rotarians and Rotaractors.
One of the things that I just chime on to that is that as the district, you also do a great job of helping and assisting clubs. We're very fortunate as a large club because we have people that can support and do things. We're blessed in that. And I don't know that people, if you haven't seen the other clubs, it's hard for you to understand. And you're the connective tissue that helps the smaller clubs take some of the best practices. It helps, like Jim said earlier, the funding was short. And so you came up with the ideas of, hey, let's look at it from a state. So there's a lot that happens behind the scenes that we aren't even aware of. And of course, many of us in our, I've only been here 2 years. And so I just am starting to understand the club here. But there's a lot that happens behind the scenes that's very helpful across the zone and region as well.
Yeah, we had some really insightful people. Lance, you were part of that team back when Jessica created they call it the G line, so the district governor line, and they have calls every 2 weeks. So that is something we do, is we talk every 2 weeks as a leadership team. So we have a very cohesive message. That way it's not jumping from, here's what we're going to do this year. Now, next year, we're going to change to this, structure. We followed the strategic plan. Lance, we re-upped the strategic plan during your year and did that. So, that's something that has been super helpful in our district, is making sure that we follow each other and continue what's already been started. So, Carrie went to her 2 district governor classmates and secured them being able to do our global grant for next year. So we are continuing to do the All Indiana into next year, but that's something that it's not just on one person. It takes a whole entire team. And they say it takes a village. Well, it takes a village to run a district. It takes a village to run, a Rotary club. And you guys are very fortunate. You have a great group of Rotarians that all are committed to service. So it's something you should be proud of. Any other questions? Yes.
I hope I can say this. I'm involved in Rotary because I realize that it can be very impactful in people's lives. My daughter was a youth exchange student, but my question is what sorts of activities, community building activities, are frowned upon and step over a line for being too aligned with the community. For example, we have several community-wide issues facing us in Bloomington. And the question is, how deeply can we get involved in, for example, getting a decent jail, doing the right sort of things, or having a convention center that has a clear vision? How deeply can Rotary get involved in such things?
I think it depends. So it's going to depend on, how politically charged is it? Because if it's a politically charged topic, you want to be very careful. Because as a Rotarian, we aren't political, we aren't religious. So it is something you got to think about and make sure that, it doesn't cross those boundaries. When you're looking, at our 4-way test, if you read that 4-way test and it doesn't fit within any of, when you're questioning participating in a project, if it doesn't fit or doesn't feel right, then you probably should step away. So I think that that's the best way to look at it. I think that Rotarians, whoever thought we would eradicate polio. I mean, back in the 70s when we first started this campaign, no one thought Rotary was going to be the catalyst that got rid of polio. And yes, we're on an uptick this year. Unfortunately, a lot of the remote tribal communities have gotten infected. And when one person has it, it's hard to, eradicate it very quickly and to vaccinate those people because they're hard to get to, for one. But I think that Rotary stepping into a lot of these projects is important, and it can be very impactful, and you can go as deep into a project as you want as a Rotarian, as long as it fits within your community. Hopefully that answers your question. Oh, Lance is, we got a couple more.
We have one more here and then we can go online.
Okay.
Hi, thank you for coming. I was curious to learn a little bit more about the youth exchange. Could you talk a little bit about what youth exchange is and how you've seen it grow in the district over the years?
Well, it hasn't grown since COVID. We've had a struggle coming back from that time frame because unfortunately when COVID happened, some people were stranded here and stranded overseas for a while before we got them back to their locations. But youth exchange is an inbound and outbound high school program. And so, yes, we have an outbound that went out this year. They were actually from Kentucky because Kentucky doesn't do youth exchange. And so they reached out to our New Albany group and we were able to partner and make that happen for them. So we have an outbound. We'll have an outbound next year. I think they're coming from Brown County. Some people in their family have done it. So outbound, what I would say is people think it's so expensive, but if you look at some of the other programs, ours is very cost effective compared to other programs. But outbound, you're probably looking, our cost as a district is probably around $1,800 is what it would cost. Plus their family has to pay for their flight, those things. Inbound, as you guys know, because you have an inbound.
Yeah, could we just take a moment?
Yeah,
Chloe, if you could
absolutely.
stand again. Chloe is our international exchange student here, our first one in quite some time. And I will just say we're thrilled to have you and looking forward to, she's going to be living with us. We're part of a 3 families who will be hosting her. And so we get to have her for the third part. She can give you the rendition as to whether it was good or not afterwards.
She'd be a great resource for you to kind of deep dive into that and how she found out about it and how she got involved. But it's really cool when we have our inbound exchange students because they bring their culture to us and we learn so much. And so that's part of the story is getting into that program and why. But I'm glad you're here.
And then I think Raj has a question. Raj?
If you can unmute.
You're on mute. Let's see.
There you go.
There we go.
Well, good afternoon to you and thank you for coming to talk to us today. My name is Raj Hadawi. I'm a member of the Rotary Club of Bloomington for many years on Zoom only. My question, about 4 or 5 years ago, our club took a very practical step in establishing DEI committee for our club. Has been well sponsored, has been recruiting our local, I will repeat that, local Monroe County minorities to join us as a club. Would you please tell us if you have anything in your year plan to help in establishing similar committees or involving the minorities in the district? And if there is any club actually does that, you may share that information with us, and thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the question, Raj. So the district is in the process of helping to rewrite bylaws. Again, I feel like we've done this over and over and over again, to add DEI as an official committee at the district level, because it's not listed in our bylaws right now. And so, and plus we are going to add the DEI statement that RI has recommended. We've tweaked it just a little bit to fit our district because the RI statement is more international in scope. And so we as a committee took out the DEI terminology, because when you take that out, most people understand that, you know, diversity, inclusion, equity. If you don't put DEI, those 3 letters together, all of a sudden it makes sense to people, which is dumb. It is. But it's one of those things that in a lot of places in this state, it's very politically driven, and we don't want it to be that way. We want it to just be inclusive to all. Our Rotary International President Stephanie, that's her big platform, is inclusion and belonging. She, you know, you need diversity and equity as well, but inclusion and belonging are her biggest platforms that she sits on, that she would like us to promote. So we are working on that, Raj, to bring that into the district as far as making that an official committee. It is an important component of who we are, because if you look at Rotary worldwide, we are diverse. We try and be equitable, and we try and be inclusive of all. So, you know, all of those things are important to every club, no matter what club you're sitting with. And I think our Columbus Noon Club has a committee that has done really well with it as well. So I would say that the Bloomington, this club, and Columbus Noon, and probably Evansville Noon is incorporating it into their bylaws this year as well. So it is a couple of different clubs that are adding that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, District Governor Mandy. And in honor of your presentation, they will be donating $100 for the quarter to New Leaf, New Life. So thank you.
Thank you.
It's so interesting. I'm just thinking through the thread that this whole meeting, you know, we started off with Labor Day and the reflection, Sue, that you did so beautifully over on Zoom, candidly, in thinking about the why behind we have Labor Day and some of the why behind the unrest that we're seeing with people out there. And then thinking about Rotary and the talk that you gave, Mandy, and we're people of action, we're empathetic. And all of this is, it's a highly anxiety time right now, candidly. It's an exciting time, but there's a lot of anxiety as well because change is hard. I look at around the club and I think of the change we've been going through and I look at the members, and it's a very different looking club than it was a couple of years ago. So there's a lot happening. It's good. We need to embrace it, but we always need to be thinking about the why behind it and help others embrace it, because not everybody's able to embrace it. So just some thoughts that were going through my head as I was listening to all the conversation. On that, let me take a moment to acknowledge all the hard work that goes into making this meeting come to life. Marilyn and Sarah, thank you for stepping in for Natalie. It takes 2 people to fill the shoes of Natalie. That's how much she does for us. And then Amy, thank you so much for greeting. Dad, thanks for the introductions. And Whitney, thanks for stepping up and hosting Zoom Appreciate that. Sue, as I said, beautiful job on the reflection. And I love the agility that we showed with our tech savviness there, which Tyler, we couldn't do without you. Bill, thank you for the work. Bill Perkins for the work on reporting. Actually, Greer, you're filling in because you just said you were writing. I was like, wait a minute, Bill's supposed to be doing that. And it's so great to have you here, Greer. We love that. And then Lexi, thanks for stepping up and operating the mic and the camera for us. And I'm sure we're going to have some other people doing so in the quarter to come. I can't wait to see it. All right, our next meeting will be on the 10th of September here in the Frangipana Room, and our speaker will be Chad Rabinovitz, discussing everything you wanted to know about Constellation Staging Screen, but we're afraid to ask. And if any of you know Chad, it will be entertaining. I can guarantee you that. He is dynamite. And with that, if we could share the four-way test, please. And everybody stand. Of the things we think, say, or do, first, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and friendship? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And fifth, is it fun? And before you go anywhere, we'd like to have everyone up front for a photo with DG Mandy. So please come on up and leave the Zoom on in the background. So if everybody could please come up front, and then I will ding the bell.
Everybody look at Tyler.
2, 1.